Hello, distinguished audience. You are welcome to Digital Bimpe Podcast and TV. So, we are having a special guest, and his name will be introduced by himself. So, can you kindly introduce yourself?
Hello, my name is Gabriel, and I was invited here by my dear friend Bimpe. I've heard a lot, and beautiful things about her, and most importantly, her talent. It's enough. It's enough. It's a very, very wonderful one, and I'm so much delighted. So I'm here to share with her what I know about our skills.
Okay, but today we are not actually talking about skills. We are basically talking about a simple life series, and we'll be starting or kicking off with the first chapter of my book. As you guys all know, I'm a best-selling author of my book, A Simple Life, and we do not have the hard copy available now, but we have the ebook copy, which is already on seller. So I'm going to drop the description of the ebook link. So while we are talking about some few highlights in the book, it's also important for you to read further by clicking on the seller link to know more about it. So we are going to start with chapter 1. Not everyone will be rich nor poor. So let's hear from you. What is your perspective on not everyone will be rich nor poor?
Well, it's quite simple, and it seems like you predicted it all. Of course, the truth remains that not everyone is going to be rich nor poor. After all, sorrow must complement joy. I mean, there must be need that there are times in our life you get to suffer, you get to succeed, you get to somehow balance it the same way. So everyone will not or might not actually end up getting it right. But I think merely reading from this very book, it really encourages and also creates the mindset that, well, in whatever situation you see yourself, you are not the worst. Wherever, if you think you are the best, you might probably end up realizing that you are not the best among all. You understand? So people in different aspects of life, they're just good in what they are, in what they do. This book in particular promotes, in this very chapter 1, promotes the mindset that whether you are poor or rich, you're just good at where you are. You might not be comfortable there, but whatever life has offered you, I hope you take time to give it a thought, and while you go through it, I hope you also enjoy it as well.
All right, so this is the first series of chapter 1. Not everyone will be rich or poor. I will be reading the first page. So, and we'll be describing our understanding of just only the first page. So I would say plug into this podcast every month, because we always have this episode once in a month. So let's read.
All right. Every child's dream is usually to attain adulthood, then become wealthy so he or she can buy his or her parents what they have always dreamed of, or become known as one of the richest men or women on earth. This is not too bad, but at the same time, the Institute of Religion, in brackets, LUDS, states that the assumed storms of life, which are poverty, wealth, and others, are not the real storms. Then what are the real
storms of life?
Yeah, I will tell you. Just read on. It's a good thing to have dreams that are big, wild imaginations of how we want to live our life, but we need to understand the hard truth. Not everyone is going to be financially rich. At the same time, it's either you are rich, poor, or average.
Okay, so what's your perspective to the first page highlights?
I think you might permit me to reread something here. It says that it's a good thing to have dreams that are big. Of course, everyone wants to be like the richest men on earth, thinking of living a luxurious life, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It also says that wild imagination of how we want to live our life, but however, due to some circumstances, unpredicted ones, the hard truth remains that not everyone is going to be financially rich.
Yeah.
Coming to know that each and every one of us have been struggling very hard to make it in a financial way, but somehow, sometimes we end up not even making it at all. You understand? So this says it all. However, the fact remains that it's either you are rich, poor, or average. We must fall into these categories.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so you are going to be hearing from the best-selling author. Why did I talk about not everyone will be rich nor poor? The reason is because I have observed carefully about life, and I've come to realize that everybody can never be rich. If everybody is rich, then who is going to be working for who? Do you get? And aside that, everyone can also not be poor. Okay, even in God's creation, I believe that even God himself already knows that there will be stages or status of human beings. There will be the one that will be rich. Even in the Bible, we have the rich, we have the poor, and we have those that are average. So that is just to let you guys know that it's okay to be rich, and it's also okay to be average. It doesn't mean that you are not successful or your life isn't as you want it to be, because trust me, when people read this book, they tend to understand life in a very simple way, and they tend not to do things that will lead them to destruction. Let's take an instance about the youth of these days. We have women who are so much desperate for the wealth of the money that they go into prostitution. Some sell their body to make money, and it doesn't go right. Some of them, they end up being killed, while the guys, they are into yahoo and they end up being in prison. Look at Hush Puppy, for instance. If Hush Puppy was to share his life experience in prison, I think it would give somebody advice to never walk in his footstep. So the essence of doing this podcast is so that people can take their time to also go back and read a simple life book and realize that it's okay to be where you are today. Like for me, I'm living a simple life. You know that out there, when people see me, people expect that, oh, you should be very large and all of those things. And trust me, at the end of this life that we are living, the question is, where exactly are we going to? What are we carrying? But I am not of the perspective that you should be comfortable not to grow. You can not be rich and you can also not be poor, but don't be comfortable in your comfort zone and you don't want to elevate. You don't want to do something better for yourself. You don't want to further to know more and improve on yourself, your career or your business. You're just reluctant, relaxed. Life isn't all about that. Okay, it's all about making sure that you build the right legacy for your generations to come, so that they can also share their own perspective to it as well. I think that is all I want to say, and I think that is it. So is there anything you'd like to say before we wrap up the podcast?
Well, if there will be anything at all, I would say just in one sentence: not everyone will be rich.
Yeah.
Poor. Thank you.
Exactly. So let us know what you think, your perspective. You can tag us on social media, Digital Bimpe TV and Podcast, and let me know your perspective. Or even on Spotify, you can comment on Jollof Radio and all those other platforms. And thank you so much. You didn't even introduce your full name. Let them know what you're doing. Let them know your social media platforms so that they can link up to you if they want to know more about you. Or you can just let them know your name, maybe your nickname, anyhow. So,
all right. Well, anyone can reach me out on Instagram or Facebook via Gabriel Eze.
All right.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Okay. So, as you guys all know, my podcast and TV platform is Digital Bimpe Podcast on Instagram, on YouTube as well. and other platforms on radio and other podcast platforms. And don't forget to also follow me on my other business platform at Digital Bimpe Marketing on Instagram, at Digital Bimpe on Facebook, at Digital Bimpe on Twitter. And I'll see you guys in another new month by the grace of God, talking about the next highlights on series 1 of Not Everyone Will Be Rich Nor Poor. Thank you to my wonderful friend Gabriel for joining on this podcast. So I definitely know that this podcast will be out very soon. So keep engaging, keep subscribing, and share this to somebody that needs it. And don't forget to click on that seller link to buy this book and read more. Bye.
All right.